Hello and welcome to episode 57 of the Ski Instructor Podcast. My name's Dave Burrows and I contact you today from a sunny, but slightly cloudy and slightly wintry feeling Val d'Illiers here in the Port du Soleil. The weather seems to have turned a bit. We've had you'll hear this in this particular episode. So in this particular episode, I went to interview Jon and Tom and it was 33 degrees. So there's a fan on to try and keep us all cool, and that fan runs in the background. I've toned down the noise of it and in the post edit, but you can still hear it. It's a little bit like white noise. It's a bit of a drone, but it's fine, and it doesn't impact on the quality of the interview. But here, the weather it feels like it's turned. It feels like mid-September. The temperatures have gone down. It's cold overnight, and it's a bit dewy in the morning as well. So it's got a real feeling of like winter is on the way, and I'm very much starting to feel the need to get free up some space in the diary and go skiing. So I'm hoping to sort of head up there in the next couple of weeks somewhere. I'll probably go to Châble and have a slide about around there and see where that takes me. In this interview, episode 57, it's with Jon, Ahlsén and Tom Waddington. Now, I've interviewed these guys before, but they've gone in their own direction now, and they've started their own ski instructor training company called Level Up Ski Coaching. I happened to be talking to them about it, and I thought, well, I'll get them both in a room, and they can tell me what it's all about. And this interview kind of went in various different places, but we talked about like training for the ski season. We talked about equipment a lot, talked about robots, we talked about their new venture, we talked a bit about Brexit and all sorts of other stuff. So it was a really, really cool interview. It's lovely to hang out with those guys and see them again, and I really, really value the time that we got to kind of hang out and chat, even though it was like 1,000,000 degrees. So a really, really good interview. I've got a few others lined up, and they're kind of ready to go, and I'll be editing those, and there's probably be coming out on a monthly schedule. I've been a bit slack with that over the summer, but it's been busy, and there's a couple of others in the can that I'm very, very excited about that, and a couple of other interviews that I've got that I'm very excited to go and do. So that's going to be really, really cool. So without further ado, we'll just go straight into the interview. This one will go all the way through, and I started off chatting to these boys about ski instructor cars. Yes, he's got notes again.
You remember when you asked me? I was like, no, this is a blank sheet. It's just that
you didn't do notes.
But I thought maybe sometimes I'll start saying something hoping to get to somewhere, and then I forget to get there because I go off there, and then I thought maybe I'll write down that point, but then I forgot about writing down those points.
This keeps me from wandering too much, that's all.
I understand. And have you vetoed my...
We can talk ski robots if you want.
Oh, I do want to talk ski robots. Yeah. I was talking to someone about that this morning. Are you vetoing my worst ski instructor cars that you've ever seen?
No. Worst ski instructor...
So you know that there's a sort of generic... Maybe not when you reach the level of you boys, like elite coaches. You have decent car. But when you first start off, you see some guys show up in some real, bad stuff.
I am listening to a podcast in another sport, and they ask pet peeves.
Right.
Every podcast might be fun to add to yours.
So there was a guy I used to work with called Rich Walker. Really good guy.
I know Rich Walker.
Is it Rich Walker? Yeah, Rich Walker.
I recognise that name as well.
He worked a bit in Bansko. Mm-hmm. I think he was around here at some point.
He must have.
Probably came through you or something. Lovely skier, really nice guy. I don't know what he does now, and I've kind of lost touch with him a bit. But he used to have a car. It was an old crappy Golf, but it had Bulgarian registration on it. And he was working in Morjan, going backwards and forwards. You know, there's a border there, and you go back and forward, do your cheap shopping in Châble and come back.
Yeah.
So literally every time he would go over the border and come back, he's a British ski instructor coming back into Switzerland in a Bulgarian car. So literally every time they had him out, doggy, like the whole thing. You know, like, what are you doing here? Like, imagine like how many times he would have had to get all of his papers out and explain this thing.
Yeah.
And so that was one of the worst ski instructor cars I think I've ever seen.
I don't know. I think just people always think they need like the SUV with the 4-wheel drive, but you don't. You don't need that.
You just need a car with some
You
tires.
need a station wagon, or a van. That's what you need. Certainly don't need a Defender to be a ski instructor.
No, that's for sure.
I once went to China to deliver a course in a snow dome. And I flew into Harbin Airport, which is quite north in China, and I had my skis with me and my boots, and they only had really tiny taxis. So the guy had to put the skis out of the boot and like put a cable tie, and I was driving through like the centre of a really busy city with my skis sticking out the boot, and the snow dome was in the centre. So
when I moved out here in 2009, I had a smart car, and the smart, like one of the little ones.
Yeah.
And I moved all of my possessions and a dog right here in the smart car. There wasn't a single bit of space.
No.
There was like skis and kind of dog and suitcases and all sorts of
Stick
stuff.
anything on the top?
No, the smart car rack actually it did exist, but I didn't have it at that time. It sits on the back, like you sometimes see on the Land Rover's rack. But yeah, what's your view on like skis in the car, like wet stuff in the car? Or do you put them on the roof?
I'm not
You just don't drive, you boys.
no, here we don't drive much. I'm moving, so I guess that'll change. But just to village. But I'm not interested in cars. I think so. Like I just stick them where they go, and don't care about them.
yeah, me too. But I had for most of my earlier ski instructor career, I had a Shogun Mitsubishi, which I thought would be great in the snow, but it was terrible in the snow. I had the wrong tyres on it because I had no idea really about snow tyres.
No.
Yeah, I pushed that car once.
Yeah, you did, yeah. And it broke down loads of times on the Austrian motorways. And I could never get snow chains on. I got stuck on the Porte du Soleil pass one time and my hands froze off. But I used to live down in Saint-Jean-d'Eau below Morsey.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And I used to put my skis in every day there and back. And it just got so like condensation.
Yeah.
So actually from that,
You've got a ski rack.
I try not to put the skis. Get a little brush and brush the snow off before they go in. Yeah.
Apparently, if you fill up a little container full of rice, put it under your seat, the rice absorbs all the water that's in the car.
Oh, there you go.
Not just iPhones.
No, iPhones works for as well. And the other one apparently is if the sun is on your car and it's above 0 degrees outside, you just crack the windows slightly.
Yeah.
All of the wetness goes out. That's like a
I think just because there's a lift from the Châble as well, and there's lots of like boot lockers and ski lockers up in town. I think most people leave their skis there.
Yeah.
So they don't actually drive with the equipment.
Because a lot of people who work here, they live down here. But they work up there, live down here.
Almost no one left up in town. It's like we are still up there for a couple of months, and then we're down in the valley as well. And the ones that are left, there's not many of them left. I can think of a handful.
No, and I think that's something to touch on.
Let's talk about it now.
Yes.
Because this is a topic we were just talking about earlier. With regards, it's the same, I think, now in all ski resorts. And let me tell you tell me if the trend is the same here as it is where we are. So historically, we've had a lot of ski instructors who've lived in Châble and then commuted over the border to work in Switzerland. And the other model is you live in the resort where you are. in Châble, certainly, a lot of the accommodation has either been converted into apartments, the old accommodation, or it's been, I don't know, knocked down and rebuilt into something else. And then they sell these apartments to people who come 1 week a year, or maybe 2 if you're lucky. And there's a real shortage of places to stay in. In our valley, they use the word like hotbeds, I suppose. It's so much so that in the Valdivia where I am, they put a ban on any new developments of second residences, so that if you want to buy a house there, you have to be coming to live in it. And as such, that's added to the vibrancy of the village. It's really cool. But it's starting to be the same thing. I know for a fact in Châble next year, I think Stefan and a couple of the guys who work for me have got a problem because they're going to renovate the cheap accommodation that they're in. Maybe they'll add to the price, or they'll again sell those apartments to someone else. So, do you have the same issue here in Verbier, or is it just that ski instructors only expect to pay a minimal price for their accommodation and haven't really got with the times where everything is getting more expensive, as we all know? What do you think?
I think it's a mix of everything, but what we're seeing is more and more people are moving further away from Verbier, even down into Martigny, which is still connected on the train line. But yeah, for sure, it's becoming a real problem in Verbier. We've got instructors right now still looking for accommodation, and people not able to come and train with us at the moment because they can't find accommodation for what they want.
In Verbier itself?
In Verbier and Châble.
Really?
In fact, Châble is becoming even harder to find accommodation than Verbier because there's less of it, basically. Yeah.
That's interesting, isn't it?
I think it's just been, if I can be a little bit critical of like the commune or whoever it is to make the planning and such, they've sort of been more focused on chalet construction and like the really high-end accommodation, especially up in Verbier. There's not been anything built since I've been here that would sort of cater to people who work in tourism.
Yeah.
And eventually that sort of, because when somebody renovates an apartment, it's going to be priced out of our sort of price range, and it just becomes you just don't have any options, so you cannot expect to live in Verbier anymore. That's for sure. Le Châble is tricky, and then you have villages up and down the valley that have some, but there are no like apartment buildings virtually. No, there's like 2, 3, 4 apartments in any one building.
Yeah.
And that just doesn't like solve the mass problem of seasonal staff.
Yeah, I think the gentrification of...
Good word. Hey, good word.
Wow.
I looked it up.
That's the first time that word's been ever used.
I was thinking about using that, but I thought I'm not gonna.
But yeah, the gentrification of ski resorts, and speaking to people in Ahlsén, Zermatt, especially the higher resorts, it's becoming more and more of a problem. They're developing expensive apartments, and it's pricing the seasonaires out of the market. And then we've got Airbnb.
Yeah.
So owners are deciding they'll make more money from renting their property for maybe 6 weeks to 8 weeks, and then they've got their property to have a holiday with.
Yeah.
So Airbnb is contributing, I think, to the problem. And I think a little bit since COVID, more and more people want to move out to the Alps or work from a chalet. So see more people move here with more money, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, especially in the high resorts, seasonal accommodation is a problem. And I spoke to an estate agent the other day, and he says he thinks the owners of the properties that he rents out have put their prices up 20% just in the last 2 years.
For real.
Yeah.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
One of the common things around where we are, because we are a little bit more proximate to Lake Geneva than you guys, but not mega, but a little bit closer, is that a lot of our clients, once their family really gets into skiing, the next logical step for them is to have a place in the mountains. So save loading up the car and coming up for the weekend, or staying in a hotel on Saturday night. The next logical step is to rent somewhere for the season for them if their family's really, really into it. And there's not much of that around, so often I have that conversation with a lot of people that we ski with is do you know anyone that's got an apartment? We're really struggling to find someone. In most of the villages, there's like one real estate agent. It's different here, but where we are, and it's a struggle for them to find stuff. But those people have got a bigger budget than the ski instructors, right? A studio apartment in Morjan, you'd be lucky to get one of those for the season for 4,000, maybe, these days. That was even a while further back, but even like a place to dump your skis and sleep with two parents and two kids, maybe a couple of bunk beds and one main bedroom. I mean, that's going to be at least 6,000 to 8,000 for the season. Now, for those people, that's not so much of a reach, and it's very convenient for them. They come up on Friday night, all your ski stuff is there, and you can do whatever you do, and then go back home on Sunday afternoon. For your ski instructor, 6,000 to 8,000 is a big reach, right? The wage inflation has not kept up with the cost of apartments, for sure.
For sure.
For what they can, what these guys can earn in a season, and there is, like you say, is becoming a dwindling supply of apartments and accommodation that caters to those kind of people. I don't know what the answer is.
It's become.
It's a bit like the US, no?
Yeah, I mean, but in the US, I don't know US, but I think in like Whistler, you have that one company that owns the whole mountain, owns the resort, and they buy a building to provide staff accommodation. Here it's more spread out because it's not one company, one resort, right? So it's tricky, but there are various companies that are now like hotels that are booking up accommodation year round for their staff. So like companies that operate here are forced to take on that additional risk because staff just cannot find apartments. Yeah, and you see it on social media every day. It's not now like these Facebook groups and stuff with accommodation as their focus is not mainly people advertising their apartments. It's people advertising themselves, saying I'm coming to work in Verbier. I'm looking for accommodation. So like there's just a clear mismatch in availability.
Yeah, I think in the future, I was speaking to someone from Zermatt, and more, I mean, big companies are already doing it, like hotel companies for their staff. They're reserving accommodation for the season or the year, but I think ski schools are probably going to have to start looking and reserving apartments for ski instructors, taking the upfront hit and risk, so that they've got enough staff so the staff can live.
I've been considering this for a few years, is just to buy an apartment, because you have a guaranteed rental, right? You can let it below market rate, certainly to the ski instructors, but if you fill it with, say, 4 people or something, you get a 2 or 3 bedroom apartment. If you can find one at a reasonable price, it's more difficult here to do. That would cover your mortgage for the year for sure. If you put 2 or 3 of your staff in that apartment, you might even make some money out of it. But you've got to have the money initially to be able to buy that apartment with, right? And it's but it is certainly becoming an issue.
Yep.
And if you're trying to be a ski school who's attractive to staff, you could go to Japan or something, and they'll give you an apartment with your job I don't know how attractive the terms are to do that.
But we had at least one last year who signed up, was really keen to train and never found accommodation.
Yep.
Yeah. And so he couldn't train.
The other thing about that is how it's done, like how things are done around here. I don't know how tech advanced they are here with regards to, but a lot of people think that in order to get an apartment or something, you just have to send emails to people. I don't think it works like that. And my advice always to them is that you've got to come here and you've got to get off your ass and you've got to knock on doors and you've got to like literally it's the way to get stuff done. You've got to be like sitting in front of someone and it's got to be fairly obvious that you're not going anywhere until they provide you with the solution. With an email, they can just fob you off till the cows come.
Yeah, but that's hard for seasonal staff.
Absolutely.
They are not here.
I couldn't agree with you more, which is why I say the second bit of advice is sort it out before you leave the previous season, the season before. Yeah. Do it in April. Don't be doing it in September.
No, September is tricky here, for sure.
You know, don't be trying to do it over email in the summer when every real estate guy is on holiday in August, right? It's not going to work either. He doesn't know you from Adam. I think you've got to be a bit more proactive than that. You've got to be in the supermarkets looking at the little cards on that people brought up, because people still work. Those really cheap apartments come up in the old ways. They don't come up through Verbier Immo or whatever, right? You've got to find the little old lady who's letting out her basement or whatever, and she will only advertise on the little card in the co-op.
Yeah.
And unless you know someone here, it's really, really tricky. But I think you've got to do it a little bit like that. Yeah. That seems to me to be the only way, and a lot of our guys have really struggled by doing things by email or trying to do it like that, because things aren't quite as advanced here in that respect as they would be in the countries that they're coming from.
It's getting a bit negative though. I think so far we've had one person who actually failed to find an apartment to stay in. So people come here and are able to find places to stay, but it is something that's quite hard to solve, I think, without some new buildings going up. And people don't want big apartment blocks next to their properties. So it's like something that the commune is going to have to think about, how they like zoning and planning and permitting those projects to go ahead. Because if they don't, it's just like long term, it's not going to solve itself without the commune stepping in, I think.
There's a bigger issue to that as well, isn't there? Where it's like when we come to the mountains for a reason. We've all been here a fair amount of time now. I drive through, it's not so bad where I live now, but when I go back to where I used to live in Châble, part of its charm is it was undeveloped compared to Morsey. And now when you drive through, you can't see fields and cows and agriculture and the old Savoyard farmhouses, because it's all been knocked down. Yeah. Everyone who's got a field has sold it for development. And where does that end?
Yeah, you lose some of the charm, but
you see that here as well.
Like Verbier is it's still a very pretty village because of the affluence. But like they build the new developments to look like they're old when they first go up. Like they have the wood that's,
so they can afford to do it.
But you know, that's a few.
Yeah,
doesn't serve that many people, and it certainly doesn't serve people in hospitality and tourism.
Yeah. Interesting. Let's go into a more positive thing.
Yes.
because we could sit here and moan all day about that kind of stuff. New company, new direction for you both. Instead of me guessing what's going on, why don't you tell me the story and how Level Up has come to be, and what direction you're hoping to go in with it.
Well, John actually came up with a name, Level Up, which when he suggested it, I was like, oh, that's really good. It says what we do, and I think.
And did he, at that point, did he go like that with his hands? And just handed it all over to you to do the work?
I tried.
Yeah, but I think it came from us wanting to do our own thing and have more independence. Previously, we were with New Gen, and personally, I was running the ski school as a manager and did over 10 years of doing that, and it was kind of coming to an end. Didn't want to be involved in the politics of that anymore. So we looked at leaving, and we started Level Up. And essentially what we're doing is we haven't really changed anything about our coaching, what we do on snow. That's us. It's always been us. We've got a system that we work with, and we work with all ski instructors from all systems, and essentially we make them better skiers, improve their performance of skiing, whatever country or system you come from.
Yeah.
And by cutting away, I think we talked about this when we talked about offices and organisation and corporates and all that sort of stuff. When it's just two of you, you are freer to pursue the direction and have more of a purity in the direction that you want to go in all aspects: marketing, on snow, off snow, how you want to treat people, pricing, all that sort of stuff, right? It gives you complete creative freedom to shape it in the way that you want to go.
Yeah, absolutely. To be fair, we did decide to partner with the ski school, so we are working with performance slash powder extreme. We're under that umbrella, because the advantage is that it's such a successful school that our trainees, when they're not training, can work for that school and get tons of hours. But we have a large degree of autonomy to do our thing. So it's just me and Tom. We have our own little brand. It's 2 uniforms that look like ours on the hill. So we stand out that way, and like you say, we're very nimble in marketing and taking whatever decisions we need to take, as long as it doesn't impact performance. Operations, obviously. We are very free to operate the way we want, which is easier for us than it was before. And that's it's been really fun. I have to say, it's been really fun because you feel liberated. Although we had a good 10 years with New Gen. I think one of the reasons as well for me personally was just, you've done the same thing for 10 years. It's quite fun to start a new thing. And the benefit of that, of just allowing us that freedom has been really good. If we want to post a story, it's us deciding that. We have complete freedom of what it should look like and what the contents, or a reel, or whatever. If we want to write a blog, we can upload that. We even have a web page. Good for you. Yeah. It's been really fun actually.
Yeah, and we had a really good season last season for our first season. We had two groups, and we did have ski instructors who worked for other ski schools as well. But the ski instructors who train with us, who work for performance, got loads of hours. I think the average was 280 on top of a 8-week training program. The most was 415 hours.
That's crazy.
Which is a hell of a lot of hours to do in a season on top of training.
She was tired.
She was tired. Yeah. It's too much. But they get great tips with the clientele that performance have, and it was a really good first season for us. So we're looking forward to next season, aren't we, John?
Yeah, it's just looking good as well.
Yeah,
it is.
The training that you guys do, so it's a continuation of what you were doing 2 years ago at New Gen. We spoke, I can't remember when we spoke, it was ages ago. It must be at least 2 years ago, right?
I think 3.
Or 3.
Yeah.
You're primarily focused on training people through level 3 and 4, or we talk about the level 3 and 4, level 3 and 4 of certain organisations, but you're not. You're just training good skiing, as I understand it. You're not specifically focusing on people to pass or jump through certain hoops of certain organisations. It's like good skiing is good skiing, doesn't matter which organisation.
Yeah, I mean, there are certainly, if you think of it in language, it's like everyone's speaking English, but there's some accents.
Yeah.
So, the Swiss look a little bit different, but it's still a human on top of skis on snow, so it's, you tweak the template a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But basically what you could say is the ISIA stamp level and up to the ISIA card level.
Okay.
Which would be, we're both BASI trainers, which would be level 3 and 4 in BASI, IASI, New Zealand. It's not called level 4 there, but Australian, that's the level.
Yeah, and that would be
so
what
not
they
like
do in Swiss snow sports.
Yeah, so it's not like the first contact with the industry. It's when if you're keen 2-3 years in, I would say.
Well, I think also you know that the people that are coming to you are pretty serious about doing it as a profession.
Yeah.
So my entry to this world was with Warren and his GAP program.
Yeah.
And I did that in Sassafay in the summer. And I am the only one out of 16, 18 people on that GAP, maybe 20, I don't know, that ever went on to do anything.
Yeah.
And strangely, I've gone all the way through the system. I was pretty sure that I knew what I wanted to do. But no, I was surprised. No, everyone else was just there for the party. A summer GAP, level 1 and 2, bit of skiing. And then they went off to university or did something else or whatever. But if you're serious enough to then go from level 2 and start doing your level 3 modules, and then level 4 is really starts to get serious, then you're dealing with serious people. I mean, that must be pretty cool for you guys to know that you don't have to chase those, have to rouse those people up in the morning, right? They come motivated.
I think we talked about that we never struggled with motivation on the side of our trainees. They are always self-motivated, whereas on that GAP course experience, they might not have chosen to do the GAP course. It might have been the parents, in order for the kids to be allowed to go to the Alps and have a party season. The GAP course provides the structure that makes the parents comfortable. So there's a definite difference in attitude and how keen they are, and obviously they've skied a lot more as well, so they're better skiers. It's more fun for us.
Yeah, and I think what we kind of do differently, and what's really worked well for us is our program's periodized. It's more towards the athlete end of the spectrum. We break stuff down at the start and build that up through the season, with a lot of practice in between, structured practice. And that's worked really well for us over the years, with lots of passes. But what's interesting now actually is that we used to be mainly level 4, but now we're seeing a lot less of the level 4, as it were. Yeah. And
full cert,
yeah. Right. And a lot more level 3s.
Now, why do you think that is?
Several reasons, but I do think I'm going to say the word Brexit. This is the Swede having the guts to say it.
Right.
No, but I think like it takes a few years to pan out onto the higher levels, and I think
you're seeing the panning out.
You know, all of a sudden some opportunities were cut off for the people starting, so they never got the chance, and then you had a few people who could extend here in Switzerland at least, and as that, you know, the even people going through level 3 and 4, a lot of people don't stick in the industry for life.
It's true.
And I think you're starting to see like that delayed panning out happening now, just because permits to be allowed to work here.
Permits is definitely one, and it'd be nice if that changed.
I'm honestly quite optimistic that
something
probably not for this season, but next. Like I think an agreement is going to come for some freedom of movement in some form.
Yeah, I think so too. But what's interesting, instead of us particularly relying on the British market, we've expanded and looked into other markets, and we're getting a lot of Danish want to train with us now, who are going for their Euro Ski Pro, which is kind of their trainer level, top level.
Aussies. I had quite a few Aussies. Actually.
It makes sense for them, doesn't it? You can come here and train all winter and then go back and work in your homeland.
And a few level 4 Aussie passes. That we coached.
I suppose
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, the other
proves our point in a way that skiing is skiing, no matter where you do it.
Yeah. Skiing is skiing, for sure. There is the hard reality also that as you go from that 3 to 4 level, certainly with some of my experience, is that eventually you bump up against your level. Right? You go to the exam where someone eventually tells you, I'm going to say, let's say you have a bit of natural talent, you can ski, and you've got generally all the right moves in all the right order, and then eventually somewhere between full cert level 4 and finishing your level 3. So I think that the 3 is a very achievable level for a lot of people. But somewhere in that 3-4 mix-up, you bump into the limits of your talent, and then you either have to go back and fix the fundamental problems that are in your technique, or you fall away, or you say, well, okay, I'm a level 3, I've done pretty well, I'll stay that for the rest of my career, but I'm not going to get to the full certification level. You might also end up being a guy who, let's say you only get there at 45 years old, say, you're not going to go, realistically, you do all the training in the world you like, I don't think you're going to go and get the Euro test, or as it was.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a physical limitation on that. There's not many people beyond that age that pass the Euro test, I don't think.
Wait, Euro test.
What's the highest?
Could be, but now ISA speed test is a bit different.
It's a bit more achievable, isn't it?
Yeah, and they account for age as well.
Do they? Yeah. I did not know that. Yeah. Okay.
No, I think to an extent you're right. Like in order to get through the full cert, you need to sort your fundamentals.
Yeah.
Like, you can't get away with young athleticism. Whereas to an extent you can on the level 3/ISIA stamp thing. So like the fundamentals is one thing, but then there's also, you need to realize at some point in your skiing journey that you're moving from, if that's where you started, from a holiday activity to a sport.
Yeah.
And in order to like really take that on board, like it might not be that it's enough for you to sort your fundamentals if you don't have the body that's required for it, or the mental that's required for it. So we do communicate with our trainees about pre-season prep, now I'm no expert in these matters, so I think Tom is looking. So maybe Tom wants
He
to.
looks more like he does pre-season.
Yeah.
You look like you follow the same summer program
I garden.
Yeah. Cuts of
Tom
grass,
on the other hand.
you know, walk around.
Tom.
But interestingly, John, you say that, but your power to weight ratio, I think, is really good.
Not too bad.
Not too bad.
Not for a 50-year-old.
He's smiling when he says that.
No.
I think he's humouring you.
No, definitely not. And if you've seen John ski, you can see that. And I've actually trained with John, done some plyometric stuff, and he does have a good power to weight ratio.
Is this true? Because my impression of you skiing, John, is that you get away with like touch. You're more like a finesse skier.
Potentially.
I get the feeling that Tom, you bully the mountain a little bit. You happen to the snow.
Yeah.
I think like aesthetically that might be the case, but it's also the case that I'm not weak for my weight.
These are compliments, Peter.
Thank you.
No,
Yeah.
no, but it's also, I think, having grown up racing and knowing where to be at the right time and all of that stuff. But I have said it over the last few years that I feel like my technique is more than I can now physically handle.
Ah, that's interesting. Your body's letting you down.
Yeah, I could get more out of the skis if I had better power.
That's really interesting. I get that exact same impression. I can only put so much load through my body now.
Yeah.
I have too many back injuries, so I'm like having to really dial it back. I was never any good in the first place, right? But and this goes actually back to what you were saying with regards to, I'll put it another way. Let's say you're my neighbour who's currently skiing in Brugge with the sports school for ski ballet or zone, whatever it is that he's doing now. He's grown up, gone through ski club, age 6, Region Vendée Midi, ski ballet, sports school. He'd probably be, I would say Swiss team, there's a big fall off rate, but he's doing well, right? Yeah. His body is growing up accustomed to those forces and will build its own strength pattern based on the forces that are happening to him now. If you come into a gap, you're a life changer guy, right? Like I was, and you had been used to sitting in an office from age 18 to 33, and then you go out and you try and then put skiing forces through that body at the higher levels. You can get away with it 1, 2, 3, I'd say. But at the top level, what the stuff that they're asking you to do these days, that baseline strength isn't necessarily built into you.
No, I think you need to work hard for that. I think you need to work hard for
You can learn. Yeah, I'm sure we learn.
Yeah, yeah.
No, it's a good point, Dave, and I think that the amount of questions I get asked by ski instructors about what skis should I get and what boots should I get and how much money should I spend on that, and they end up spending lots of money on that, but not much money on their own bodies and training for skiing. Yeah. But in a GS turn, let's take for example a high-end GS turn, you can load up to 3 times your body weight, right?
And you're supposed to take that on 1 foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't.
So that is a lot of weight, right? So one of the best things that we try to get across to ski instructors, and I try this every summer, is that you've got to get stronger, and it's got to be down to your power to weight ratio. And if you, let's say you could be a really strong person, but you might be super heavy. So are you going to be able to carry that in a GS turn down 20 turns? You know? Yeah. But often something that's not talked about that much in skiing, a little bit of a taboo, is there are 2 ways to get better at power to weight, get a better power to weight ratio. One is that you can get stronger, which is absolutely fantastic. Everyone should do that. But also you can be too heavy.
Yeah.
You can be carrying excess weight. And so another great way is to actually lose some weight.
Stop eating cakes.
And stop eating cakes.
Stop your mates bringing cinnamon buns round.
But
I've got a fiance who's into baking Swedish cinnamon rolls.
And it's tough that, right? Because you've got to have the mindset. Like I'm working really, really hard on this for the last, I'd say at least 2 years. But before that, I've came out of a ski season. I managed to keep my weight really down last season. It helped a lot, and for some reason it let go. You know, it went up like 3 kilos, but you can really feel it. You know, that 3 kilos is crazy. Like, it's not a lot of weight necessarily, but it is. Your life is easier when you are lighter. And so for me, I would love probably 3 cinnamon buns right now, but it's not worth me having those 3 cinnamon buns right now, because I'm happier with my clothes fitting, with walking about lighter, my back not hurting, like all sorts, you know, knees don't hurt anymore. Yeah, it's a real thing.
For sure it is.
It's a real thing.
And it's like every turn.
And it's every turn. Like you were saying, a set of 20 GS turns down there. It's not even like gym turns, where, like if you're doing squats, for example, where you kind of go down and it's like a progressive movement. It's GS turns. You do not have a long time at the end of the turn. You're up again, over, and into the next one. Right? It's a quick, repetitive
and it's
thing.
at altitude as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
floor is changing all the time. Like it's but certainly there is.
Yeah, so you get to the point, like you get to that point where, like the holiday maker, advanced holiday maker mindset just doesn't cut it anymore. You have to view it as a sport, and it's amazing that you're committing to training with us, preferably. That you're willing to spend the money on the kit, but like you have to see you're the centerpiece, so you have to invest in you, and like you have to see yourself as an athlete for at least a couple of years to go from 3 to 4.
Yeah,
I think any ski instructor listening to this now, I would say invest some of that money you might be spending on skis into a gym membership. It doesn't even need to be a gym membership. It can be some basic equipment, kettlebell, a few weights, and get a personal trainer if you don't know the exercises. It doesn't cost that much relatively, and make sure you've got a periodized program, preferably starting now, that will take you 3 months, where you stick to it, you gradually add weight, and you keep going with that. Like you train 3 to 4 times a week. When you see an improvement, then you can increase the weight, for example, or increase the repetitions. But you got to stick at it. You can't just go to the gym for 1 or 2 times and think, oh, I've done some strength work, or do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You've got to have a structure, and it doesn't cost that much to do. So I think investing in that would be a big tip I would give to anyone.
We had one trainee who trained with us the year before and last year, and in the summer in between she did go to the gym, and she was amazed how much better she felt, how much more power, like everything was just easier for her, because all of a sudden she had some power to spare, and man, did she progress. Just boom, boom, boom. In progress. So it's not just waft, it's so real, the benefits of it.
Yeah.
You make me want to go and do some exercise.
But not also, I think ski boots and skis are important.
Oh, for sure.
And something.
It's okay. Go on.
Something we talk about a lot is getting the right match. Something we see a lot of is that ski instructors might, especially level 2 to level 3, might have some old, pretty soft recreational ski boots, and then they'll buy a pair of FIS construction skis, and rock up to training. And it just doesn't work, right? The ski boots are the drivers of the skis, and it's like
in the way to think about it is you work the boot works the ski. So if the boot is overmatched by the ski, you're not working it.
Is that you offloading the Jean Baptiste Branche pair?
I've still got them.
They're still working.
I still can't handle them.
Still too stiff. I think that's an interesting thing, because I recently changed. I've been faffing about telemarketing for a long time, and I'm not going to talk about that because I've talked about it on bloody every episode. But I changed my boots recently from a head raptor, and I popped down to Bay near Monte to go and see the new Rossignol Lang shop there. The ski boot fitter there is the guy who used to fit Didier Defarge's boots.
Ah.
He is the shit. And he managed to get me into a Lang RS 92 last, which is crazy, because I thought I had a good fitting pair of ski boots. I thought I had the guy, which is my guy in Geneva, who was pretty good, and I was skiing the head raptor.
Turns out there's another level.
Yeah. And not only another level, another ridiculous level.
Really?
This boot that I'm in, it flexes more progressively, even though it's stiffer. It's thinner. It fits like a slipper you would not believe, and I can really bend my ankle. The only issue with it is that boot then, because you set off like a chain of motion to all the other stuff, then I went back to the skis that I was skiing with Raptor, and it turns out that boot is too powerful for those skis. I'm putting too much through them, so that ski is just like washing out and doing anything. And so now I've got to upgrade that ski, so I've gone now to something like that's a bit more performance-y. It's got a plate, and I'm going to see if that is the answer. It's a bit more turny. It's like a E-race or something, head E-race 175. It's a bit more turny. It's got a plate, and I figure that might be the overall solution. But that new boot is, you don't even need to think. Like it's like it's thinking for you. It's absolutely ridiculous how good it was.
Right.
And it's weird, because I thought I had the best setup that you could possibly get. You know, it was like custom liner, custom footbed, boot, carved out by a guy, all that. I thought, this is it, got it. And then what sent me down that road was that Head changed the design of the Raptor. So they changed the toe box. I don't know if you know about that. I don't know what you guys ski, but they changed the toe box. So the old Raptor used to have quite a toe box that just sort of went down and kept your toes quite snugly. Then they opened it up and they did this thing, like an extended toe box, they called it. But it made the boot half a shell size too big. And so I was just swimming in this thing. Couldn't cramp it down enough. Couldn't get it anywhere near as tight. And I went to this guy and he said, they changed the shell design. So, okay, well that explains a lot. I'm in the wrong shell size. But the guy said, try this. Let's see if you can get into this. He said, we'll get you into this boot if you really want. It's not the mega stiff one. There's grades of it. It goes like A, B, C, D or something. So it's not the crazy one. My goodness, I didn't realise there was another level to it. It's not a standing on the side of the hill all day, assessing candidates kind of boot. But I was amazed. There's another level. And there's probably another level beyond that, but that level is proper racer level. It's really interesting. And he's an interesting guy to go and speak to. He's called Stefano, and he works at Startgate in Bay. He's worth going to see. Tom's writing this down.
Yeah.
He's just about to drop another 1,000 francs on new ski equipment.
Even I've been forced to make emergency surgeries on Tom's boots. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, boot trouble.
Back in the day.
It's been a while.
I've got a good formula now, but I'm always interested to hear about new good boot fitters, because it's another important point. I think I don't trust many people now with my feet.
No.
Back in the day, I just had them fitted.
Yeah.
Anyway, and for a season they caused me so much trouble. I had some horrible things going on my feet, and I was in pain. And John saw me one morning taking painkillers and all sorts, and he said, "Tom, I'm just going to cut your liners." And since then, it's worth finding a really good boot fitter.
I think so. Yeah. I'm using the stock liner in this boot, but I pulled out the tongue. The tongue was terrible. And I put a zip fit tongue in it.
But I think it's just a little bit, isn't it a little bit scary? Boots are a little bit scary, and skis are only fun. Like, it's fun to try a new ski. Changing boots is like, boots is commitment. So you're a bit reluctant. So you know what you know, and if it's not painful and awful to ski with, you're just likely to stick with that.
But you can't concentrate if you've got something going on in your feet. Isn't right. It's every time.
Oh, it's horrendous. Yeah.
And you know, and if something's just not right, so if I've got something that's pushing on that outer, whatever that is, that thing there,
6-toe, let's say.
where it always pushes for me, just on that foot. You don't want to put any load through that boot, because you know it's going to touch and cause that hot spot there, right?
I mean, you 6 hours a day. Couldn't even have the duvet on your foot. It was that bad.
No, it's actually,
that's not good.
You know, thinking back, that brain connection to pain and old injuries.
Yeah.
The brain knows, and even if you're maybe not feeling pain in that moment, if you've got an old injury or you've had bad boots, you might create a movement pattern where you're
not going to go there.
You're not going to go there. You don't trust it. Your body won't.
And even if you're not injured anymore, or like you have anything going on with your feet, the body, like your brain, thinks it hurts, even if it's not actually.
Well, that's it. An example of one of our old trainees, who's now a basic trainer, he had problems for years in his boots, and it probably took 2 seasons out of his training and being able to actually work and train. He got so fed up with it, he taught himself how to boot fit.
Oh, no way.
And he's now a boot fitter and
like a lot of our trainees go to him. In his
like
garage, and he's got like the Dremel tool and the pliers to open. I don't know the names of these things. But
this guy was good, and I went back 4 times to get a good fit. And like I say, I was there.
It's not that much.
Do you know Didier Defargo was there? Well, okay, we know him, we see him around all the time. He's a cool guy, but he was in, and he was like, "This is the guy." He's like, "Don't worry, you're in good hands. Like, this is the guy." He's looking after his feet, right? He must be pretty decent. But
if you don't know Didier Defargo, he won the Olympic downhill in Whistler, I think, in 2010.
Kitzbühel, serious skier.
Big guy.
What was I going
Skid back to Ross on
GS skis? Yeah, that guy. Can we say that to the end? I desperately wanted to ask you something that you touched on earlier. Both basic trainers.
Yes.
It's my impression that, don't worry, don't look so scared. It's my impression that the level has moved on a little bit in the last few years. The training body seems to have turned a little bit. It strikes me that the basic trainer.
What do you mean by turn?
Turned as in there's like a younger crew coming through.
That's for sure.
There's a younger crew coming through with a bit more of a racy background, and it strikes me that the level. I'm not saying, by the way, that the old crew couldn't ski. I'm saying that ski me, that's for sure. But the level of the ski ability the trainers have gone through, and also I'm wondering whether the pass level It's gone up slightly. Not the level 2 pass has gone up slightly. Thoughts?
Well,
John defers that straight to Tom.
No, I can take. Just don't want to be interrupting each other. So Tom, go.
I agree, Dave. I think, being blunt, a basic trainer used to be a bit of a badge for life. And one of the best things Basie did in terms of quality assurance was bring in their skiing quality assurance. Mm-hmm. So as trainers, we have to, every 3 years, attend a 2-day assessment. And if you're not meeting the criteria, then you get given an action plan and a year to be able to meet the criteria that's required to be a basic trainer.
Wasn't it always that way?
No.
Oh, no way?
No.
20.
Well, you had a bit of the ski about.
Something like that?
It came 20, maybe
a bit later.
2015, 16.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and I think it's been brilliant because it basically tells people they need to up the game in terms of skiing performance.
Or get out of the way.
Or it's time to say, thank you, I've had a good time. I'm going to let the newbies come through. And that's what it has done. You know, it's allowed space for more, great skiers, great coaches to come through into the trainer system. And I think we are really strong at the moment. There's some brilliant new trainers.
I saw for sure. Yeah.
There's the skiing now is phenomenal actually in Basie, and that's new. Like compared to a decade ago, it's very different. Very different.
Which makes us then go, whoa. Yeah. These young guns coming through, I better sharpen up.
Absolutely.
And I think it's just good for any organisation to have a reasonable amount of churn in personnel, so it's not because otherwise it becomes stagnant. So I think that's been good for sure. And if you're the person to put others through an exam process, you shouldn't shy away from going through that yourself once every 3 years. It's good to make you relate to what you put other people through. So I think it's good from that perspective as well.
That was always my experience going through up until the point where I came out of Basie was that it was just the same old faces examining the 3 and 4 exams year in, year out. It was, you knew who you were going to get roughly, depending on where you were sitting the exam.
It's still a smaller group of trainers that deliver 3 and 4, but there's now a system for that. So at these quality assurances, you will be okayed by Basie to deliver 3s and maybe even 4s. Whereas before it was a little bit unclear how that was decided, but it's clear now. And it's to the point where if you haven't been cleared to deliver courses, you can just go on to a QA. If I understand it correctly, you can put yourself forward for a QA to be cleared, even though you don't need to do it because 3 years hasn't passed.
Oh, okay.
So it's like
voluntarily assess yourself.
Put yourself forward for it. And I think that's been good, and it's like the trainers here. We have a lot of trainers in Verbier now. We're Tom and I are sort of the proud parents of 5 of them. Our old trainees. It makes me really proud to see it actually. That they have done so well. And like they're good. They're curious about skiing still. They know how to ski. They know how to teach and coach. And they're doing. From what I've seen working alongside them, they're doing a fantastic job. It's really, really fun to see and be a part of.
And as regards the level that it takes to pass the highest level technical exam, do you think that's moved on slightly? Because it strikes me that the nature of this next gen of what looks like quite decent skiers as trainers coming through, would that not push the level on?
I would say I haven't seen any drift on the standards recently. I think between like around 2014 through 18 or so, I was a little bit confused of where the standard actually was, even though we were providing training, because we sent lots of people to exams and we were, let's say, befuddled, is that a word? Every once in a while with who came back with a pass and who didn't. What I've seen is that there is a much more consistent standard now.
Okay.
To the point where like you can honestly say there's a standard now. And there's some interesting things happening to make that even more assured. So this year Basie is trying for the first time to not have exams in Zermatt, Verbier, Morzine. It's all the level 4 techs, they're in Courmayeur.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's like it can be quite a difference to, like, let's say you're in Val d'Isère and your trainer says La Face Longs. If you don't know what La Face is, it's a World Cup run, steep for 1,000 vertical. It just never ends. Or you're on an easier pitch in Zermatt. That makes it a little bit unfair. So trying now this year to see, like, to go to somewhere where no Basie trainers work, not that many trainees are there, so it's a bit of a neutral thing.
Consistent pitch.
Yeah, and instead of Basie going to where everyone is for the level 4 tech, the idea is that people will come to where Basie thinks is a good spot, and it's not somebody's home court. And
that's interesting.
It
takes out that whole Verbier Val d'Isère thing, doesn't it?
I think it's always been the problem with skiing. One, it's an open sport, right? So you always get different conditions, different times of year, and then different slope angles. Again, different resorts, confidence. So trying to standardise that, our criteria has been the same for many years, but trying to standardise a hero snow January exam in a resort that you know to an end of season Hintertux exam
sheet of glass
in glass or powder as it seems to have been the last few years. Then I think bringing it all to one place and having the same
one place one time a year. It runs once?
No, it's a January and a March.
Okay.
I think it's a really interesting idea to try. Maybe it's not going to work out, but I think it could. Yeah, I think
that's interesting. Because the Hintertux has a reputation. It's like an end of season shootout. Right? Like there's 8 groups, and everyone's.
Yeah, that's.
Bumps get pretty big.
I've run the Fortec the last couple of seasons in Hintertux, and. Sadly, things are getting warmer, so some of the terrain that was available before is not available anymore. So it's getting on the flatter side.
Difficult to run the course.
But like there, you have a rationale for running it. It's the only place where you could run it at that time of the year. Yeah. Whereas running it in different resorts around the Alps midwinter, you don't have that justification for it.
And especially I think what Basie are trying to avoid is standalone courses. So more and more, maybe with less people going for the level 4, if you're going to run 1 week level 4 technical, let's say, and there's only one trainer or 2 trainers on it, it's much better to have a group of trainers who can all check in with each other on the levels. And, swap and look at video. So the standardization process, if you're running more groups, becomes just better, really.
And I think the Courmayeur thing is good as well, isn't it? Sorry to interrupt you, but like that, I've never understood the rationale. I know they've been trying to run, or they have run, I think trying to is a better word, because the weather's never plays ball. The ones, for example, in Morsey.
They have run one or two there.
I think they've run one or two, but I've always thought, Morsey, really? Like, a lot of the terrain there is flat. All right, you've got the Stad maybe, and you've got the Plenty, but...
Yeah, you might have to watch out for the odd cow as well.
Yeah.
Sorry, Marzine. sorry. I've got a lot of friends in Marzine, sorry
But
for listening.
it strikes me as not the place. You
No,
know?
but I think...
A lot of tourists as well.
I think
You know,
there was
no space.
I think that came from a good idea that bases should be focused on the members and go where members are. And they had a bunch of people there going for the 4. So they tried it, and like I don't know Morzine well enough to know if the terrain is good enough. But I like my thinking there is that if you've invested so much that you're going for your 4 tech, you will go there where the exam is. Basically, it doesn't have to come to you there. That's my thinking. I don't know if I'm right with that or not, but I think you will go to that exam. Whereas, like for all the other exams, level 1, 2, 3, you can run that anywhere and make it pretty consistent.
Terrain's nice in Cornwall as well. Skiing's nice there.
I've done 2 powder days in 1993, so
You have no reference points.
there might be a new lift here and there.
Yeah.
One would hope.
I think it's wonderful. Really amazing place.
Yeah. I mean, it's Italy as well, so it's not
Food's
as expensive as Switzerland would
Coffee's
be
good.
to go somewhere in Switzerland. So I think it's hopefully a good choice.
Yeah.
Let's see if it works.
Yeah. I'm with you. I want to just, if I can, I know we're all a little bit pressed for time, but how many ski instructors do you see at any level, but mainly the higher levels and even through to like trainer levels and whatnot, who are overbooted? Can't bend their boots, can't bend their ankles, creates a certain movement pattern. I can think of a few people who put videos up here and there, and I'm like, you're only bending with 2 out of your 3 options. Do you see that much? Do you see do you pay that much attention to the equipment that people are on? And
Yeah, I don't.
it strikes me as obvious when you see people that then they have that sort of pushy heel movement because you can't flex through the turn, you know. I see it a lot, and I wonder if you guys see that.
I don't. Like, honestly, not. I think we see underbooted more than overbooted on. But people, when they come through the gap, a recreational holiday maker boot is usually what they come in, and then they ski in that maybe for a few too many seasons. So it's there's virtually nothing there, and then they go up to maybe probably not a plug boot, but like a shop race boot, something that says 130 flex.
Yep.
And they're just not used to feeling any pushback from the boot. So it might not be that they're overbooted per se. It's just that they need to figure out how to get their shins into the front of the boot.
How to stay on top of that.
Yeah, work it a little bit.
Boot, yeah.
And I think that's just a transition you have to go through as a skier, like as you move from recreational equipment up to more sporty equipment. That's just a journey you have to go through. And in the beginning, they're used to the boot basically collapsing when they flex the ankle, and all of a sudden it doesn't. And then they get a little bit confused, so they push the heels. But it's something you can work through, I think. That's my thinking on that. But obviously it's something you have to work through.
You see some people get also caught out when they're in a new boot, or a new boot to them that's more of a performance-based boot. You often see, or it might be even sometimes you see it when they go onto like a decent ski for the first time, and you see them with that thing where all of a sudden the ski accelerates, and then they're like in the wrong place there because they've never felt a tail of a ski that's got a bit of a whip to it, or a ski boot that is giving them that acceleration out of the turn.
Yeah, but like you can't learn how to ski that equipment until you've skied it. So it is a journey you have to go through, but you have to go through it, or you plateau out and you learn new bad habits.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of a process of elimination as coaching. You know, is it a strength thing? Is it a technique thing? Is it just the equipment, or is it a combination of everything? And
mobility thing as well.
Mobility thing. Is it a time thing? Practice. I'll give you a quick example of me this season figuring something out. I got a new pair of slalom skis, and I'd been on my old pair quite a number of years. I hadn't actually realised how long I'd been using them for. And I realised, well, my old ones are completely dead, because the new pair of slalom skis I got absolutely put me in the back seat, and I was like, whoa. Okay, this is what it feels like now and I had to change and practice, and I think with experience I knew immediately what was the difference. But for someone new to that, they might be like, oh, what is going on? I don't understand.
But I think one of the points is don't take too big a step when you move up the equipment grade. Like, don't go from a gap boot to a plug boot. So like, don't. Because like you will never get the feedback of what the boot can do for you, because it's like the sweet spot, or the precision you need to put in to get something out is so precise that you haven't learned that yet, so you will never get good information back from the equipment.
Yeah, you're quite right about that. And so, also, not everyone can put that kind of power through like a big flexing boot, right? No. A big fella like Tom, you can, because you're strong enough, but not everyone is built like him.
No, very few. Little bromance going on here.
He's got
I'm strong and he's got a good body.
I saw him at the Col de Grand Saint-Bernard. He's walking around with like a wife beater vest on.
Well, he had something on the top at least.
It's interesting you say that, right? Because this takes you on nicely to the last topic, which if you're there and you've got all these variables kicking around, looking with your eye at equipment setup, physical preparation, technique, goes on. How long?
TP maybe.
No, don't get me started. How long before a skiing robot instructor can do all that? No, essentially, this is under rise of AI. Because I've got two schools of thought on this. I'll lay out what I think, and you can just run with it. But in the future, people are going to pay a premium for human interaction.
Yeah.
Saying exactly the same thing to my insurance guy this morning. I said to him, yeah, probably there'll be a bot at some point that can do all of this, and I know I'm paying more, but I get to come sit and have coffee with you, and we just talk like human beings. And the current rise of AI is flipping frightening. I've just rewritten a whole bunch of marketing stuff for a project that we're doing, and I could have got ChatGPT to write all that for me if I really wanted to. Instead, I sat there and tapped, in the old way. But I'm already at the point where I feel like I'm getting a little bit left behind by what's coming. How do you see that coming into skiing, and how do you see the future in that respect?
I don't know, AI and skiing, like I'm all for, if like in coaching, it being quite data driven. So it's not fluff. I time my trainees in the bumps.
Oh yeah?
Count the number of turns. Just to make sure that I'm not just taking taking the wrong route in my coaching because I say you need to ski faster, but maybe he's just fucking smooth, so it looks good and easy, and he's actually fast. Because I've been tricked by that in the past, and that's when I started doing that, just to confirm what I'm talking about. I do that with longs and short turns as well. I count the turns, like not so often live, but when we take video of it, and when I come home, I'll just have a look at the clock when it starts, when it finishes, and count the number of turns, just so I'm like...
Counting the number of turns is top tip for anyone going to passing the exams, right? If your examiner goes down and he does 25 turns, right, in his demonstration, you make damn sure that you do 25 turns. So you've got the same rhythm and the same thing that he's looking for. That is like
it's
101.
easier that way.
Yeah.
It's easier that way. I mean, if you're good enough, you're good enough. It doesn't matter if you're 2 or 3 turns more or less. But yeah, I mean, the examiner typically tries to set a nice template for people to emulate. That's why you provide demos when you run exams. But AI, I haven't really thought about AI in coaching as such. I mean, you have Carve and that Tom knows about.
Yeah, so I'm with John really on, like, I think...
Carve is a rudimentary AI.
Yeah.
It's introduced data.
Yeah.
So I'm an ambassador.
But it filtered data.
Yeah.
Yeah, I work with Carve and done some videos on YouTube, and I've got the units, and I think they've made a big step into providing more data into skiing, and it's really good system because it provides that intermediate skier who might not get ski lessons with some feedback, with some ideas about what good skiing, piste skiing is. And it provides a lot of data: edge angle, rotation, pressure.
Is it accurate?
I think it's pretty accurate. Yeah. And it's now linked to video, so you can look in real time at, let's say, a ski turn, left and right, and kind of identify, my pressure is a lot later on my left footer than my right footer.
Isn't it always though?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And so I think that sort of stuff is great, but you still need the human interaction. You still need the coach. And I think if you look at something like Carve as just another tool for analysis, like video is, and then you've got Carve. I don't know so much about AI, but the future of skiing, I wonder whether it would go into more sensors all over the body and having the best skiers in the world ski turns, and then having a template and linking that template to you, and having sensors on your own body. Who knows where the future might go? But
I'm sure that kind of stuff will become available. Not for the very best skiers in the world, because they're still trying to win races. So I think they try to keep that a secret.
yeah.
But I think
I'm the opposite.
It's
I can
also
see what you're doing.
but like for holiday makers, they're out on holiday. They want to have a good time. A lot of them, like a huge portion of it. So then I think hiring a local who knows where the snow is the best that day might be just as important as am I gripping as high in the turn on my lefties as I am on my righties. I think that's just as big part of a nice holiday. And for kids, I mean, kids need someone to look after them as well. And so far, I think we're quite far away from skiing robots being able to do that.
And even at the instructor level or athlete level, it doesn't consider the mental aspect and the mental performance and how you get the best out of someone. And working with someone on a human level, how do they learn? How do they perform at their best? What's their arousal levels? That kind of thing. I think there's a long way to go.
And I think that's where you and I have grown the most as coaches. Once you kind of figure out good skiing, that you always get slightly better eyes, slightly better analogies or whatever to use, but managing the people is what we've learned or improved the most, I would say, over the last few years.
Yeah, that kind of human empathy is a thing that they're going to really struggle with, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, if you have a replacement, you know, Jon Ahlsén robot, like he's not going to be able to emote on the same level and have a sort of fundamental understanding. This is, I mean, the current AI stuff, as I understand it, are just amazingly. It's like an enormous reading machine that is able to read stuff incredibly quickly and then pump out an estimate of what it thinks that you're after.
Yeah.
It doesn't have that next level capability of like interpretation.
Just sit down and have a chat with someone who's having a bad day. That's a big part of the job, you know.
Yeah.
You can see somebody skiing much worse, and like you can say they're not smiling. So on the next chairlift, you make sure you sit next to them, and have a little chat.
And this is where I don't think in something like what we're in. So the skiing, and I'm thinking more like tourist skiing or weekend skiing. I'm not talking about higher level performance stuff, right? You might want to put a carb in your boot or in your student's boot, just to augment the understanding that you should be doing something here instead of here. That's a very real thing. I think the experience that people want when they come to the mountain, and this is probably my perspective more so than yours, because you're performance coaches and I am concerned with things like tourism and clients, is that they want to get away from tech. That's my reading of the situation. They come
I'm sure
to the
there is a
mountains to get
market
away.
for the tech stuff as well.
There's definitely a market for nerds.
Who
are really interested in
the,
like apps and all this. You see enough people using ski tracks, right?
Yeah, I was just about to mention that like this, Johanna, my partner's had clients like, you just show me where I get the most vertical today. I need to come back with these many verticals.
Oh yeah?
To the office for bragging rights, I'm guessing. Like,
yeah?
Oh yeah, I was in Verbi, I did 15,000 verticals every day, whatever. Like, that's there's definitely absolutely, but there's definitely a market for that.
Yeah,
I'm sure of that. But there's definitely like a market for humans in tourism. I'm not nervous about that for a long time anyway.
I hope so. I can't do anything else. I don't know what I do.
I'm learning to garden this summer.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
It's
but
amazing.
there'll be a robot that can do that.
Yeah.
Like you are very replaceable.
Yeah, it's just
in that respect.
It'll be an advanced robot because Verbi is so steep.
When that robot comes, I'm definitely buying it because I cannot stand cutting the garden. It's the worst thing. It was like a jungle the last time I cut it. So I'm so excited for you both about your new project. Tell people if they do want to level up.
Well done.
And come and get the best high level training that they can possibly get. Where do they find you? John, you're rubbish at this.
Yeah, they can find us on Instagram, Facebook. Instagram handle is
at Level Up Ski Coaching.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same for Facebook. We have a website, www.levelupskicoaching.com, where you can find all the details about what we do, our program, our history, and I think
in Verbi, in Switzerland.
Yeah,
that's where we are. Yeah.
The best bet is to just send us a message.
Yeah.
Can be on social media or by email, and we'll get back to you.
How do you get the majority of your inquiries through Instagram?
I think it's word of mouth.
Word of mouth,
to be honest. Yeah,
it's always the same. Right?
We do pretty well at that, and people who have done well with us and passed exams, and over the years we've been doing it a long time, haven't we? So
they tell other people.
Yeah, I would say there's not that many cold leads that come in off the street. It's mostly word of mouth, and even when you think it's somebody that you don't know at all, they've heard from someone.
It's a small world we're in, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Guys, I'm so impressed, and I'm very, very happy for you. This new direction you're going in.
Thank you.
There's nothing like the magic of having your own ideas and just going in the direction that you want to go. I think it's wonderful, and I often look back to those days, like when I started Snow Pros, it was exactly like that. Right, I'm just going over there because that's where I want to go. Now I have to check stuff with other people, and it's like it's a little bit slower. So I'm becoming
Corporate.
no, don't say it. Oh, it's true though. It's true, but I resent having to check things with people. You know, or in fact, we've even got like a structure sometimes now where I have to give something to someone. I could do it myself.
Yeah.
But there's a department that lives over there, and it needs to go into that department, and that person probably won't do it as quick as I would have done it. But you can't do everything, and that's the thing that gets me the most, and it's why I keep starting new things, because it keeps me excited.
And that's like nice for us to be part of a bigger ski school, but have our own little box inside it. Is
He's a cool guy as well. Like Toby's a cool guy.
Yeah, and so like there is an office that does stuff.
Yeah,
the banking and that kind of
none
thing.
of the boring stuff.
Yeah,
that's cool.
So which is amazing for us.
Yeah, it's really exciting, and we're looking forward to the future.
I'm looking forward to seeing you guys out there.
Yeah.
Just like, don't forget me when I come and ski up to you and say hi.
We will. Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.